ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Okay, I didn't share the right thing. Okay, so we have to start from the fifth mantra. In the fourth mantra yesterday, we were talking about the cosmic form, how from the same akshar, the cosmic form from the Hiranyagarbha, the Virat, came about from where? This Purusha. So he Sarva Bhuteshu Drashta Shrota Manta Vignata Sarva Karanatma. So he alone, this Virat, who is born from this Purusha, he alone is the seer, hearer, thinker, knower in all the living beings because he is the content of all the instruments as well. Then moving on to fifth. So what does the fifth mantra say? How from this Akshara Purusha, this Chara Achara, mobile and immobile, everything, all the beings, mobile and immobile, what are immobile? Like vegetation, etc. Everything was born from this same Akshara. In what chronology these things are born, that is being said in fifth mantra. And for that, this Panchagni, Panchagni Yagna or Panchagni is being stated. What is Panchagni? This is something that is mentioned in Chandogya Upanishad. It can become an upasana. So in Chandogya Upanishad, it is presented as an upasana, that one can meditate upon this, that how there's a constant yagna going on, panchagni yagna, we can say, that there is a constant yagna going on, a sacrifice going on, and in that way, this harmony within the nature is being maintained. So that panchagni is being talked about in Panchagni yagna is being talked about in this fifth mantra. We read the Sangati first. Panchagni dvarena cha yaha samsarati prajaha taha api tasmat eva purushat prajayante iti uchyate. So yaha prajaha, so those people or those beings who are born through this Panchagni, Sansaranti, they also move about or they also continue in the samsara of birth and death. Which samsara? Of birth and death. They also, so yaha prajaha panchagni dvarena sansaranti, those people who through this panchagni move about in the samsara of birth and death. Taha api, those also tasmat purushat eva prajayante. They are born from that purusha alone. Iti uchyate. That is being said. So, tasmadagnisamittah तस् तस् तस्मादग्निस्तमित् यस्य सूर्यसोमात् पर्जन्य औषधयः पृथिव्याम् पुमान् रेतस्सिञ्चति योषितायां बह्वीः प्रजाः पुरुषात् सम्प्रसूताः. So from that Purusha, Agnihi Samiddhah Yasya Suryah. Is quite. So I will, instead of translating, this is what I will do, because a couple of factors are missing in that one. Just give me a second. Okay. So from him, the Akshara Purusha is born Agnihi. Samprasutaha. Samprasutaha is common, or we can borrow that it is born. The verb we can borrow. Tasmat Purushaha Agni Samprasutaha. From this, Akshara Purusha is born fire. What kind of fire? Samittaha Yasya Suryaha, of which Samitaha means fuel, is this sun, of which the sun is the fuel. Then Somat, from Soma, which is, where did Soma come from all of a sudden? The Soma, which is born out of sun, is born from Soma is born what? Parjanyaha, the cloud. Then Oshadayaha. So from the cloud are born the herbs on the earth. Parjanyaha, Oshadayaha, Prithivyam. So some connection we have to do. Not the mantra doesn't give the entire connection, so we have to connect some pieces. And that connection we do from the information we have got, or we have in Chandogya Upanishad. From Soma is born, from the Soma, born out of the sun is born the cloud. From the cloud are born the Oshadayaha, herbs, Prithivya, on the earth. Then again, a connection is made before going to Puman. And from the herbs, the seed, the semen in the man is born, that we have to take as given. And Puman Retaha Sinchati Yoshitayam. And from the herbs, the seed or the semen is born, which the men implants into women. Bahvi prajaha purushat samprasutaha. Thus, bahvi prajaha, many creatures, samprasutaha, are born from this purushaha. So, in this manner, how, you know, how the yajna is going on, how the yajna, which is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, similar yajna is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, that yajna is going on, that a sacrifice is going on. So instead of taking this as just a normal activity, Upanishad is presenting this as a very yajna, as a sacrifice, a continuous sacrifice that is going on, and how we can meditate upon even this so-called daily, chore that we may think of. So tasmat parasmat purushat praja avasthana vishesha rupah agnihi. From that, so this is Bhasya alone. Okay? I'm just doing it from the uh, grammatical analysis I've done. Tasmat, from that Parama Purusha, Parasmat Purushat, meaning from that Parama Purusha, the Akshara Purusha, Praja Avasthana Vishesha Rupa Agnihi. Agnihi here stands for the Swarga. How? Because Bhashyakar himself will say. Wait for that. Tasmat Purushat Agni is born. What is that Agni? So Praja Avasthana Vishesha Rupaha is adjective to Agni. Agni is Swarga. So the abode of Devas. Avasthana means abode, and Praja here stands for Vishesha Rupaha Praja. So stands for Devas. So Agni in the form of Praja Avasthana Vishesha, in the form of the abode of Deva, that is born. Swarga is born. Savisheshyate, that Agni, that characteristics of Agni, Swarga is described. Samiddaha yasya Suryaha Samidda eva Samiddaha Suryena hi Dyulokaha Samidyate. So, Samiddaha, the Samiddaha is fuel. Yasya Suryaha, of which Agni, what are we talking about? Of which Agni, of which Swarga, the Samiddaha, the fuel is the sun. So Samiddaha eva Samiddaha, meaning as a fuel. Is it really the fuel? As a fuel. Because in this sacrifice something is consumed. So what is consumed is called fuel, and what is samiddaha? That which is consumed is called fuel. That Suryena hi Dyulokaha Samityate. Because through Surya, because through sun, Dyulokaha Samityate. Because through sun, the heaven is illumined. Therefore, therefore the sun is called fuel. Further, tataha hi द्यूलोक अग्नेः निष्पन्नात् सोमात् पर्जन्यः द्वितीयः अग्नि संभवति. So Agnihi, so tatah, thereafter, from that द्युलोक अग्नि है, from that स्वर्ग. What kind of Agni? Dyuloka. Dyuloka means what? Swarga. So from that Swarga, from that fire in the form of the Swarga, Somat Nishpannat. The moon, the Soma is born. And from that Soma, this Parjanyaha is born. So the way sentence is constructed is because Somat is also in Panchami. So thereafter, from that Soma, which is born, thereafter from that Soma, born of the Agni in the form of heaven, the cloud, Parjanyaha, the Dvitiya Agni, the second Agni, is born. The second fire is born. Tasmat, so what to do about this? We can meditate upon this. How there is a constant sacrifice going on. That one thing becomes a fuel and the other thing becomes the Agni. One thing becomes the fuel, one thing is consumed and the other thing is produced. One thing gives itself and the other thing to give rise to something else. So how there is a sacrifice going on, Atma Samarpana is going on. And so also, let me also kind of be that Agni who sacrifices in doing all my actions. Or just simple meditation can also be done in this manner. Tasmacha parjanyat oshadayah pruthivyam sambhavati. Tasmat, from Tasmat parjanyat, from that, and from that cloud, what is more? The oshadi, the herbs. Where are they born? Pruthivyam. The herbs are born on this earth. ओषधिभ्यः पुरुषाग्नौ भूताभ्यः उपादानभूताभ्यः पुमानग्निः रेतः सिञ्चति योषितायां योषिति योषाग्नौ स्त्रियाम् इति. So oshadibhyah, from that oshadi, Purusha Agnau Hutabhyah. Okay. So in the fire of the Purusha, when herbs are offered as in the fire of this Purusha, so which Purusha are we talking about? Men. Let me translate this as men because there are a lot of Purusha. It's not the Akshara Purusha we are talking about. In the fire of men, when the herbs are offered as oblation, then semen is produced. Upadana bhutabhyah oshadibhyah. So that all are adjective to each other. So the herbs in the form of the cause when is sacrificed in the fire of men, then this the semen is produced. So then the next sentence, the Agni in the form of Purushaha. So Puman Agnihi, the Agni in the form of Purusha, male in the form of all the males in the, not just human being, but all the males. So the Agni in the form of male offers the semen, Retah Sinchati. The Agni in the form of male, or the male who is the Agni now, Sinchati, implants what? Retah, the semen. Where? Yoshitaya, in the woman. Evam kramena bahvihi bahvayah prajaha brahmanadayaha purushat parasmat samprasutaha samutpannaha. Evam kramena, in this chronology, bahvihi. Bahvihi is of the mantra. It means bahvayah. So the right grammatical form is bahvayah. Many prajaha, meaning many people beginning from Brahman Adi, from Brahman, etc. Samprasutaha are born. From where? Purushat. Which kind of Purushat? Parasmat. Para. So from this Purusha, which is Param Brahma, Akshara. So now which Purusha are we talking about? About that Akshara Brahma. So in this chronology, by this chronology, the many people beginning from Brahman, beginning from Brahmana, etc., are born from this Purusha, namely the Param Brahma Aksharam. Okay. So that is the Parjanya Agni being described in fifth mantra, that how this Parjanya Dvarena, this from this Akshara Purusha, the entire beings come across. They are born. Next, in the sixth and seventh mantra, how the karma and the instruments of doing any action are also born from this Purusha, is being said. And remember that one karma is being taken as an example, a Vedic karma, and the Vedic karma of doing a home is taken as an example, and it is being explained that how all the factors of action, all the factors required for the action of a Vedic karma, namely Homa, namely Yajna, all of those are produced from the same Purusha. So when we are doing a Homa, what all do we require? First of all, we require the mantra through which we will do the Homa. And then we need a certain time when we will do this Homa. So the the mantras are also born from him, from this Purusha. The Samvatsara, the time is also, a concept of time is also born from this Purusha. Then those people who are performing the yajna, they are also born from this yajna. And the lokaha, the result that they will get from doing this yajna, that is also born from this yajna. What kind of results? Somo yatra bhavate yatra surya. So of both the Chandraloka and the Brahmaloka. So up to the highest results. That is what the gist of it is. That all the results of an action are also born from the same Purusha. Meaning this all is within the realm of this Purusha. And further in that seventh mantra, it is said how Tasmat eva deva bhavuntha samprasutaha sadhya manushya pashavah vayamsi. Everything is born from this same Purusha. All the devas, all the sadhya, other kind of devas, all the manushya, the men, pashavah, the animals, vayamsi, birds, prana apano, this life in the form of prana and apana, vrihi yavo, the grains, all these are born from the Purusha. And not only that, even the tapaha, shraddha, satyam, brahmacharya, vidihi, all these are also born from. So why is tapaha shraddha mentioned? Because in order to perform a yajna, what is needed? A tapaha, a certain tapas is needed that they have to that the yajman, the performer of the yajna, has to fast, and then they have to have the shraddha that by doing this yajna, I will get this result, and they'll have to follow some discipline like satyam, brahmacharya, all those vidhis. So all those are also born from where? From the same akshara purusha. That is that the Upanishad wants to convey. So the sixth mantra, तस्मात् रुचः सामस्य दीक्षा यज्ञाश्च सर्वे क्रतवो दक्षिणाश्च संवत्सरश्च यजमानश्च लोकाः सोमः यत्र पवते यत्र सूर्यः किञ्च मोरोवर कर्म साधनानि फलानि च, the instruments of all the action and their results also, tasmat eva, are born from that Purusha alone. Iti aha, that is being said. How? Katham? Tasmat Purushat, tasmat of the mantra is stated as Purushat. From that Purusha, from that Akshara Purusha, Ruchaha, Ruchaha is born. Ruchaha meaning what? Ruchaha is explained as Niyata Akshara Pada Avasanaha. Gayatri Adi Chandaha Vishishtaha Mantraha. So, Ruchaha are specific type of uh, mantra uh, which have Niyata Akshara Pada Avasanaha, in which akshara, the syllables and words, are arranged in a specific meter. Like what? Gayatri Adi Chandaha Vishishtaha. Like specific chandas beginning from Gayatri. These kind of mantras are called Ruk Mantraha. Then Samaha is born. Samaha is what? Panchabhaktikam, Saptabhaktikam Cha, Stobadi Giti. It is said Giti, but it should be Geeta. Geeta Vishishtam. So, Sama are those mantra uh, which are uh, Panchabhaktikam or and Saptabhaktikam, which has 5 or 7 aspects, or the way Swamiji explained is um, 5 or 7 aspects or stages of singing. Sama is singing. Samaveda, like Tattiriya is a Samaveda which is sung. So, Sama is that which has 5 or 7 aspects or stages of singing, including Stoba Adi. So, Stoba, beginning from Stoba and etc., those singing, that which is Vishishtam, that which is characterized by this song, such as by this song beginning from Stoba. What is Stoba? Stoba is some meaningless words which are introduced in the mantra to ornament it. So, like in Taittiriya, Swamiji was mentioning how there is uh, uh, ha hu, that hu ha hu, ahamannam 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 ahamannado. So that is the mantra. But before that, who, uh, who, that those kind of words are being used for what? For ornamenting. Uh, then the yaju. Yajunshi. What are this Yajush mantra? Aniyata akshara pada avasanani vakya rupani. So the syllables and words which are not in some specific meter, they are called Yajush. They form the Yajush mantra, and they are Vakya Rupani. They are in the form of prose. So in this manner, we have Ruk mantra, Yajush mantra, and uh, Sama mantra and Yajush mantra. Evam Trivida mantraha. In this manner, these are the threefold mantras born from that Purusha. And three mantras are said, or three Ruk, Yajush, and Sama Veda mantras are being specified. We have to account for Atharva Veda as well. So Atharva also has to be counted in one of these, understood as one of these, including in one of these. Uh, then Dikshaha of the mantra is being explained. What is Dikshaha? Is being said. Dikshaha Maujyadi Lakshanaha Kartru Niyama Visheshaha. Dikshaha are these rituals that or disciplines that one has to follow. Kartru Niyama. Who has to follow? The Kartru Niyama, the doer, the performer of the action, the performer of the yagna has to follow the performer of the yagna has to follow lakshanaha of the characteristics of what? Maunjyadi. So of a specific maunja is a specific grass that one has to wear the munja grass or the thread, etc. That is called diksha. So the rituals involving munja grass and other disciplines associated with the kartru niyama, the performer of the action. Then yagnaha of the mantra is being explained. Yagnaha is what? Yagnaha cha sarve agnihotradayah. What is yagnaha? The rituals including uh, agnihotra adi, beginning from agnihotra, and all the other rituals are called yagnaha. In Bhasya, explaining the Bhashya, Swami had explained Yagnaha are all the rituals where there is no sacrifice of animals involved. Those are called Yagnaha. And then Sarve Yagnaha cha Kratavaha. Kratavaha of the mantra is explained as Sayupaha. What is Kratavaha? Kratavaha is those rituals, Sayupaha, which involves sacrifice of the animal. Sayupaha means Yupasaha, associated with Yupaha. Yupaha is a pillar, a specific kind of pillar onto which this animal is tied and sacrificed. So, Kratavaha are those rituals where this this Yupa is involved. So, rituals associated with Yupa, meaning those sacrifice of animal, is called Kratavaha. Then the other word, Dakshinasya of the mantra, Dakshinasya is what? Ekagavadyaha aparimita sarvaswantaha. So Dakshinaha is that giving that takes place in the yagna as part of the yagna or as part of doing a yagna is called Dakshinaha, which is given to the priest, and that can range from what? It can range from as little as Ek Gavadi, from beginning from one cow, depending on what yagna you are performing. The dakshina could be as little as one cow and other things, to aparimita, to limitless, sarvasvantaha, to giving everything that one has. Aparimita in the sense to giving everything one has. Sarvasvantaha. Sarvasva antaha. So antaha is of what? Of what? Of giving of that dakshinaha. Uh, Antaha up to means up to. Antaha means up to sarvasva. Up to whatever one possesses, giving up of whatever one possesses. So dakshina can be ranging from as little as one cow to giving up everything, depending on the yagna going on. Then Samvatsara of the mantra explained as Samvatsarascha is Kalaha, Karmanga Bhutaha. Samvatsaraha is this concept of time. What about that? That also is born from this Akshara. Why is Kala accounted there? Because Kala also is a factor of action. Karma Anga Bhutaha. Kala also is in the form of factor of an action. Whatever we do in a particular time. So that time factor, that time, the concept of time is also born from that Purusha. Before we wake up in deep sleep, there was no time, there was no space, there was no desha, there was no kal. But when we wake up, the desh and kala as though projects, as though they are also, as though they also rise, as though they also sprung. Where do they sprung from? From this self alone. Sorry, this is just a diversion, but I'm just giving a comparison how Kala is also born from this Purusha, just as from us also is born this time factor and Desha factor when we wake up from deep sleep. So also from this Purusha, from this cosmic Purusha, from this Akshara Purusha, this time factor, which is a factor, this time, the concept of time, which is the factor of action, is born. Yajmanasya, and the Yajmana also is born from the same Akshara. What is Yajmana? Karta. Karta means performer of the yajna of this action. Then Lokaha. Tasya karma phala bhutaha. In the form of the result of that action. Which action? This action that is being talked about, this yajna, this homa, which is being talked about, the result of that, as the result of that action also, which is named here as lokaha, uh, as the result of this action of the yajna also, uh, sorry, not as the, but the result of the action of that yajna also is born from the same Purusha. Te vishishyante. So the mantra further describes what kind of lokaha, what kind of results of action, te visheshyante, that is being explained. Those lokaha are explained. How? Somaha yatra bhavate yatra suryah. So mantra itself describes and Bhashyakara explains that. Somaha yatra means yeshu lokeshu pavate punati. So yatra meaning yeshu lokeshu. Yatra meaning yeshu lokeshu, in which lokaha pavate means punati. Lokan. Okay. Sorry, this much part. Somaha yatra punati, right? Somaha yatra pavate, that is being explained. So Somaha is Somaha, moon. Yatra is yeshu lokeshu, in which lokaha. Somaha pavate means purifies. So those results in which Soma purifies, meaning the Chandra Loka is being talked about. And yatra surya lokan yatra cha yeshu Surya Tapati. And in which loka the Surya, the sun, shines or burns, and that is what? Surya Loka, meaning what? Brahma Loka. Uh, hmm. uh, so, yeah, in which loka Soma or moon purifies? Chandra Loka, and where the sun shines. Then the last sentence, Techa Dakshinayana Uttarayana Margadvaya Gamya Vidvat Avidvat Kartru Phalabhutaha. Uh, those results of action are also born from that Purusha. But what kind of results of action are they? Either Dakshinayana or Uttarayana. These two Margadvaya Gamya. Those results which are obtained by one of these two Marga, one of these two Patha, namely Dakshinayana or Uttarayana. How? Uh, so, uh, these two words are adjectives to each other. So, Vidvat, when it is performed by Vidvat, the learned, the Viveki, then it takes one through that Uttarayana Marga. And when it is done by a Vidvat, not learned or not discriminative person, then it takes one by that Dakshinayana. Kartru Phalabhuta, in the form of the results of uh, in the form of the result to that karta. What kind of karta? Either vidvat or avidvat. If he is a vidvat, then it takes him through that Uttarayana Marga to that Brahmaloka. If it is avidvat, then it may take him to that Dakshinayana Marga to that Chandraloka. Chandraloka is Swarga, where one has to come back. Uttarayana is Brahmaloka, from where one doesn't have to come back. In what sense? Relative sense. So those forms of results of action performed by Vidvat Avidvat Kartru Phalabhutaha, performed by learned or the indiscriminative ones, uh, learned Vidvat or Avidvat, or those who cannot discriminate, who are not learned in the sense who are aviveki. The twofold path of Dakshinayana and Uttarayana are produced, are created. Then the seventh mantra continues. What is that? The seventh mantra, तस्माच्च देवाः बहुधा सम्प्रसूताः साध्या मनुष्या पशवः वयांसि प्राणापानौ व्रीह्यवौ तपश्च श्रद्धा सत्यं ब्रह्मचर्यं विदिश्य. So tasmaach. So from that alone, this devaha, from that Purusha alone, this devaha, the gods, the Bahuta, samprasutaha, they are very well born. The sadhya are also other kind of devas, and manushaha, human beings, pashavaha, animals, vayamsi, birds, prana apano, the life in the form of prana, and apana, Vrihiyavau, the grains in the form of Vrihi and Yava, and this Tapaha, Shraddha, Satyam, Brahmacharya, and all the Vidhi or rituals are also born Tasmat. from that Purusha. So basically, everything needed for a yajna, for particular action, is born from that Purusha. So one example of yajna is taken. We have to understand that all action and factors of action, whatever we do for performing an action, is born from that same Purusha. So if we are not so used to this Homa, well, through this Homa, a specific reverence can be created in our mind, that we can contemplate how everything is born from this Purusha, and then we can apply that in the same manner any action that I do of speaking. If I'm speaking, there also this samiddah, there is some agni and some samiddah being involved. Uh, Something is getting consumed, something is getting sacrificed, and some other thing is uh, something is getting consumed, sacrificed, and something else is produced. So how that process takes place in our day-to-day activities, and how all factors needed for performing those activities uh, are produced from the same Purusha, that we can contemplate. Like I am speaking, that is an action. So how the words, the performer of this act of speaking, then whatever instruments are needed for speaking and for sustaining of the speech, uh, for the energy that is required for speaking, all of that also comes from where? From that Purusha, because he himself has created this infrastructure, right? Everything is coming from that Purusha. In this manner, we can contemplate, we can meditate how from this one cosmic form, from this one Akshara Purusha alone, all these actions, they arise. But coming back to the mantra, Tasmat cha Purushat, Tasmat meaning the Purushat, Karma Angabhutaha Devaha. This Devaha. Why is Deva being brought about? Because Devaha are also part of this yajna, because the ahuti is offered to whom? The Devaha. So Devaha are in the form of the anga of karma. They are in the form of the factor of this action. Which action? The action of this performing yajna. Devaha are karma anga bhutaha. Devaha, who are this karma anga bhutaha, who are in the form of the uh, part of karma action, part of the action. They are also born from this Purusha. Bahuda. So Bahuda of the mantra is explained as uh, Bahuda Devaha Samprasutaha. What kind of Bahuda, what kind of many gods are produced, or created, or are born? Vasu Adi Gana Bhedena. The Devas being distinguished in the form of the different Gana. Gana meaning group, distinguished in the form of different group like Vasu, Rudra, etc. 11 Rudras, 11 Vasu, 11, I don't know how many Vasus, but 11 Rudra. Tattva Buddha was mentioning about all these, which Deva governs, which Indriya, etc. Those were being stated in the Tattva Buddha. So all these distinction of the different group, uh, that is what is meant by Bahuda. The many, they are many gods. Samprasutaha meaning Samyak Prasutaha are very well born. Then the other word Sadhyaha of the mantra is explained. Deva Visheshaha. What are Sadhyaha? Sadhyaha are also born. They are specific kind of Deva. These Deva, specific Devas are also born from this Tasmat, from this Purusha, Akshara Purusha. Then Manushyaha. What are Manushyaha? Bhashyakar even defines Manushyaha. Karma Adhikritaha. Those qualified to perform karma are called Manushyaha. Only human beings are qualified to perform karma. Why? Because animals are just uh, specific word I was trying to say, programmed. Animals are programmed, so they don't act in the form of acting or doing performing an action in order to get a result. They are just programmed and they are just following that program. Whereas Manushya is karma adhikritaha, is qualified to do it, to do a karma, meaning Manushya alone has that free will to do an action in a certain way. He has got that free will, that freedom of choice to do an action, to not do an action, to do an action in a particular way. So, Manushyaha karma adhikritaha. They are born from this Purusha. What else is born from the Purusha? Pashavaha. Sure, because Pashavaha also are a part of this yajna if they are sacrificed. What are Pashavaha? Gramya Aranyaha. So Gramyaha means domestic, Aranyaha means wild. So both the domestic and wild animals are called Pashavaha. Then Vayamsi. Vayamsi is what? Pakshinaha. Of that uh, this Pakshinaha means birds. These birds are also born of these Purusaha. Then Pranapano is explained. Jivanam cha manusyadinam Pranapano. That which is the life, that which forms the life of these living beings, beginning from Manushya, beginning from human beings. What is that? Prana and Apana, all these respiratory functions, the Vayu in the form of Prana and Apana, that is also born from this uh, Purusha. And Vrihi Yavau, Havihi Arthau, the grains like Vrihi, Yava, uh, like the rice and Yava, barley perhaps, uh, Havihi Arthau, which are used in the form of Havihi, in the form of oblation, those are also born from this Purusha. Now comes all the rituals that are required, the discipline that is required for this yajna. Tapaha cha. Tapaha is also born from it. Why? Tapaha karmangam purusha samskara lakshanam swatantram cha phala sadhanam. What is tapaha? It is the factor of action. Purusha samskara lakshanam in the form of uh, Purusha samskara in the form of this lakshana, in the form of this lakshana, in the lakshana of uh, purifying the person or purifying the man. So why do we do tapaha? For that shuddhi. So samskara in the form, in the meaning of shuddhi. First, austerity is another factor of action, its purpose being purification of the sacrificer of the Purushaha. Purusha meaning the Yajamanaha, the performer of the uh, action here. So Yajamana here, but if you are doing some other activity, uh, in our day-to-day life, uh, then then that then we become the Purusha. We become the performer of that action. So tapasya means what did I say? Lakshanam. Uh, characterized by the purpose of purifying the sacrificer, and it may also be resorted independently. Swatantram cha phalasadhanam. Tapaha may also be resorted independently. So tapaha can form a part of discipline of performing a yajna, or it can be done independently for gaining a particular kind of result. Kaphala sadhanam, for as an instrument of phalasya sadhanam, as an instrument of a particular result that one may want, one may do a particular type of tapaha. So it can be, tapaha can be in general form or in specific form, depending on the result that the person wants. So both the kind of tapaha is born from that Purusha. Then what else is required in a yagna? This element of Shraddha, this aspect of Shraddha is required. Yat Purvakaha Sarva Purushartha Sadhana Prayoga Prayogaha Chitta Prasade Astikya Buddhihi. Preceded by what? Sarva Purushartha Sadhana Prayoga, and applying which sadhana, and applying which Sarva Purushartha Sadhana, Sarvasya Purushartha Sadhana. That is what how I have translated. Shraddha, that on account of whose application all the endeavors for human goal. Purushartha Sadhana. Purushartha Sadhana is sadhana is endeavors, your efforts. Purushartha is human goal. Purushartha is human goal. Sadhana is endeavors. Sarva is all. So, and Prayoga is application. On account of whose application all the endeavors for the human goal that on account of whose application, what is Shraddha? That on account of whose application, when you apply Shraddha for all these Purushartha that one has to attain in one's life, when that results into tranquility of mind, Chitta Prasada, and Astikya Buddhi, it is the belief in the words of teacher and Shastra. That is called Satyam. That is called Shraddha. So, Sarva Purushartha Sadhana Prayoga, by application of this sadhana, by this sadhana here in the meaning of effort, of all the Purushartha, when Chitta Prasada and Astikya Buddhi is attained, that is called Shraddha. Chitta Prasada, tranquility of mind, and Astikya Buddhi, that faith in the teacher and the Shastra. Here, because it is Vedic karma, so this Astikya Buddhi, that by performing this karma, I will get this result. Why? Because this is said in Veda. So Astikya Buddhi in both that I will get the karma phala, and Astikya Buddhi in the source of who tells that by performing this karma, you will get this karma phala. Who tells that? The Vedas. So Astikya Buddhi, both in the Vedas and Astikya Buddhi, that yes, by performing this karma, I will get this phala. Tatha Satyam, Anruta Varjanam. And the Satya, which is devoid of Anrutam, which is devoid of speaking lies, speaking falsehood. What is that? Yatha Bhutartha Vachanam, which is speaking as uh, Yatha Bhutartha, which is speaking uh, without transcending what is, meaning uh, speaking to the fact. Cha a karam, and speaking in what way? A karam, in a way which doesn't cause, which doesn't harm somebody, or which doesn't invoke pain in somebody, is called Satyam. Varjanam, Yatha Bhutartha Vachanam, speaking to the fact, not speaking lie, and which doesn't cause pain in somebody. So Satyam is not speaking truth. Satyam is avoiding to speak untruth. So if to make sure that we don't cause pain to somebody, if we have to keep quiet, uh, that is not, uh, it doesn't mean that we are not speaking truth. Uh, Only when we speak a lie, it is said we are saved. It is said that we are not following the truth. It is asatya. So, what I'm trying to convey is maintaining silence sometimes also is treated or interpreted as satyam, following the spirit of satyam. Vidishcha, Vidishcha of the mantra, same as iti kartavyata. The rituals that have to be followed, those are also born from, uh, I skipped, right? Brahmacharya. Before that is Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya, Maithuna, Asamachara. So all the activities, Brahmacharya are those uh, specific discipline that one follows, where there is absence of any kind of thoughts or actions associated with the opposite sex, of which Maithun can be the last, culmination. But so there is no entertainment of any thoughts associated with the opposite sex. That is called celibacy, brahmacharya. In literal sense. Uh, Especially when it is in relation to this kind of performing yagna, etc. In 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 a very broader sense, brahmacharya has a different meaning. Brahman yasya charati, that who revels in Brahman, is called brahmacharya. So it starts with this kind of literal discipline of maithuna or samachara. But what is the intent? That by controlling your energy in all these kind of distractions, you are able to now focus your energy, and you are able to direct it in Brahman Charati. You want to Charati where? Brahman. You want to revel in Brahman, and so this energy that you uh, concentrated, now you focus, now you are able to direct it in the thinking, in the inquiry of Brahman. So that is a broader meaning of brahmacharya. Vidishya iti kartavyata. Vidihi means the do's, or that which one should be following. Uh, the do's uh, of what should be done. All of these are also born of that Purusha. How big is the eighth mantra? Okay, I think eighth mantra, 9th and 10th. How much time do you have? Do you have time for eighth mantra? Or should we do it tomorrow? Eighth mantra is little bit complicated. Eighth mantra is little bit complicated, so let us do it tomorrow. I'll just introduce it and then we will start it tomorrow. The eighth mantra wants to say that Indriya, the sense organs, the objects of those sense organs, the Vishaya, and the Indriya Sthanadi, the Golakaha, the place of those Indriya, like if, the place of that Indriya, all of these are also born of this Brahman. So here prana, sapta prana, etc. So it is a code language as a like if you read this mantra, it it doesn't make sense. What are the sapta prana they are talking about? So here we have to interpret prana as sense organs. So this Indriya, Vishaya, those are all born from Brahman. So Bhashyakara will mention that how prana is interpreted as the sense organs. So that we will see tomorrow. And I promise tomorrow we will conclude that we will have time to work on it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnadaya Evavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Hari Om
Hari Om.
Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.